Hi guys, and welcome to the video where today I will be comparing the Nintendo Switch to the Steam Deck. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so starting off with what's in the packages for each of them. Start off with the Steam Deck. So when you purchase a Steam Deck, what you will receive in the mail is a carrying case for it with the deck inside and a charger in the back, but I have the charger elsewhere right now. And opening it up, you don't get much in there. Just the Steam Deck, which weighs 1.5 pounds. It's pretty hefty, and it is much larger than the Switch, which for people with small hands may be a con, but for me, it fits my hand so perfectly. It's amazing. And then putting that back in the case, we've got the Switch. What you will receive with the Switch is the console, a dock, and the charging cable. And depending on if you're lucky, you may receive an HDMI cable. I did. I'm lucky. Other times I haven't, so who knows? And with these, there are some pros and some cons to each of them. With the Steam Deck, you need to purchase a separate cable and dock if you want to plug it into the TV, whereas the Switch, you don't have to. It's ready to go with this dock that comes with it. But with the Steam Deck and how you don't receive any of the stuff connected to a TV, you do receive a carrying case, which for a portable console is a must-have, whereas with the Switch, you don't. And yeah, it's pretty evenly distributed. Switch has something I like that the Steam Deck doesn't have. The Steam Deck has something I like that the Switch doesn't have. So we're going to call this round a draw in between the two. 1 point for the Steam Deck, 1 point for the Switch. Let's get on to our next topic. Okay, now let's talk about some of the cool features of each console. So starting off with the Switch, it's a much smaller design with removable controllers, which I really like because I can use them outside of the console. And it also has a stand, which the Steam Deck doesn't have. So that's one nice to have. And then on the Steam Deck, you have these haptic trackpads, which I use a lot. And they're just amazing to use. Plus, with their nice feedback, they're just really good all-around pieces to use. And on the back, we have 4 programmable buttons, which I'm not personally a big fan of. I'm not going to use them other than fidgeting with them when I'm bored. And yeah, those are just some of the cool features that each console has. I'd say that the cool things on the Steam Deck aren't as cool as what the Switch has with its removable design of the controllers. So I'm going to say the Switch wins this round just because of the fact that it's got the innovative design of removable controllers. So you can use it in tablet mode with a stand. They've thought of everything. But I do have to say the Steam Deck, much more comfortable design, and it's definitely going to make a comeback in the rest of this video. Okay, well, what about the performance of the two consoles? So here we have a high-end PC game running in high settings, getting about 45 to 60 FPS, and we're playing it just fine. Everything's working perfectly on the Steam Deck, no problems, and I'm getting very high frame rates, which this is something that's capable on the Steam Deck due to the fact that it has a consumer chip by AMD. The AMD, it's technically a Ryzen 5, but they have downgraded it to 4 cores to fit in this system without overheating, and it has one of AMD's high-end APUs that can help run games really well. So, yep, that's how the Steam Deck works, and it gets high frame rates in high settings in most games. But then we have the Switch. So, while I'm loading into a game, I'll just show you, this is Fall Guys. This is a very low-end game, very easy to run. This console has 4 gigs of DDR4 RAM, whereas the Steam Deck has 16 gigs of DDR5. And that, it goes to show the Switch is much slower. Plus with its aging hardware that's 6 years old now, almost 7. Not almost 7, it's like 10 months until it's 7 years old. This can only run games on low settings, and the games that are available on the Switch aren't even high, hard to run games, which means that the Steam Deck definitely has way better components and way better controllability. And so the Steam Deck, way better, Switch, not as good. I'll give you an example once this loads. Okay, now that we are in Fall Guys, you can see that all of the other characters are somewhat laggy around my screen, and there's no shadows. Or there is shadows, they're just not full shadows. which is something the Steam Deck can do easily and the Switch can't do. Plus, the Switch is locked to 25 or 30 FPS, depending on which game you're running, whereas the Steam Deck can do much more. And that is due to the much slower hardware of this Switch compared to the much higher-end hardware of the Steam Deck. Wow, I can't talk. So yeah, that just goes to show how slow the Switch is compared to the Steam Deck. And I say the Steam Deck wins with flying colors in this category. On to the next. Okay, what about the online shops for each console? The Steam Deck has thousands of games to choose from, maybe even hundreds of thousands, who knows? And they are sorted between games that are great on the Steam Deck, work, but need a little bit of fine-tuning, and games that aren't going to work on the Steam Deck, but they'll still let you attempt to run them, and games that are untested. And they do this because Steam Deck runs the same games that your PC may run, and with its different components and software and hardware, some games may not run perfectly. But that still means this console, with games great for it, has about 5 times the games that the Switch has. Which, talking about the Switch has mostly Nintendo-only games. Like, you can't play games like, well, you can play Minecraft on both of them, but games like BeamNG Drive and that kind of stuff, that is PC and like Xbox and PlayStation only. Nintendo doesn't let you do that. So yeah, the Steam Deck's way better with games. The Switch only has a small selection of a few hundred games, which, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. That's still really good. It's just, if you want to play Nintendo Switch games, get a Nintendo Switch. If you want to play absolutely anything else, get a Steam Deck, because the Switch will only play certain games that if you want to play them, you'll have to get a Switch. But overall, I'd say the Steam Deck wins in this category with flying colors, having thousands of more games than the Switch and having way better games. And let's talk about pricing. A very expensive game on the Steam Deck will cost about $30 to $35, which is absurd in my opinion. But still, that's not as bad as the $70 that a lot of games are on the Switch. $70 for a game on here that's not even close to as good as something you could get on here for much cheaper. So that's why I'd go with the Steam Deck all day, every day when it comes to games. So Steam Deck takes another point. Now, there's one more thing I'm going to say before this video ends. The Steam Deck has a full desktop mode. It's Linux, it's SteamOS, but they give you access, at Valve they give you access over absolutely everything. Whereas the Switch, you only have your little desktop with your games and stuff. This functions as a full Linux computer. That is amazing compared to the Switch, which, like, that alone will make me choose a Steam Deck over a Switch. Plus, with the Steam Deck's size, it fits my hands way better than a Switch. And yeah, it's just an amazing console compared to the Switch. So, yep, there you have it. My opinion is the Steam Deck. I'll put a link to both of them in the description. But yeah, thanks for watching. These are some awesome consoles, and bye.